we just did the hydro. Now we're going through and double checking all the braces.
Disaster relief. So to be clear, this is your fault. This is your fault. We're very, very close to being. Oh, Adim!
Yes, sir.
Why don't you take the folks at home here from my hand and explain what's going on down in there?
I suppose.
There you go. Don't drop them.
Okay, hello people.
Calvin will be pissed if you drop them.
Behold, the inside of a boiler. So, we just did the hydro. Now we're going through and double checking all the braces, make sure everything's tied, and like over here, make sure that bolt's not broken, make sure it's got a cotter key and it's all tight, and kind of go around, hammer around everything, and then you look at this is the throttle. You're going through making sure all the pins are good, linkages are good, everything's tight, nothing's loose. Same thing back over here. And then just getting a visual of the crown sheet, crown stays, and right there's our fusible plug. Just kind of checking everything. So she's good to go.
Well, Mike.
Yeah.
Did you find that bolt?
Yes. It's not broken.
Is it just loose?
It's just a straight bolt.
Oh.
Yeah. I was able to reach over and whack it, and
It just sounds different.
it just sounds different.
You know what? I would almost bet it is. I bet you it's just like this one we found over here where it's something Rainier put on it. I bet you there's a fucking hole right through the middle of it.
I bet you.
Because that one we found over here was the hole in the middle of it and it had rotted from the inside out.
Right.
You don't put holes in freaking crown stays.
And you take it, you dump it in the water, and it quenches it. There's a popper that makes it stop. Then you put it back up on the dome, you put the dome lid down on it, the dome lid's going to squeeze it like a gasket, and it's going to make a sealing system. You see how he's getting a nice clear red? You're going to get it to where, about like that all the way around, and instantaneously go from there to there and done.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Do a little bit of a happy dance. Got one annealed dome gasket.
Yeah, good and soft.
Good and soft. Probably gonna have to make a new one next year.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Next year we're rebuilding the whole boiler. gonna fix the driveway.
What?
Jesus Christ!
What?
That's the that makes the potholes.
I was going less than 20.
Oh bullshit! Was she going less than 20 kilometers?
Oh, you fishtailed around that corner right there.
right
Go
here.
I was
fishtailed.
going less than 20.
Uh-huh.
My
Right.
speed is affected by the volume of my music and the degree of sunshine. Well, I have no control.
I hear that.
Goddamn radio's ripped out of your dash.
Don't you dare.
Contrails. You see the contrails?
Happiness is sunshine, music that lets me reminisce about my youth, where I was an upstanding citizen.
Okay. All right. Carry on. You catch any of that? Because I didn't.
Not one word.
So what he's doing in there right now is this up here is the boiler and this down here is the fire pan. And it attaches to the bottom of the boiler and it holds a lot of the fire bricks in place. So that comes off and we're going to take it off so that we can get in there and do our work on our patches. So that's all going to come out, and then we're probably going to end up building a new one because this one's shaped a semicircle. And the one in the 70s more rectangular, allows a little bit more air in, a little bit better efficiency, all that other kind of stuff. So one of the things I've always heard about this locomotive is that you had to be really on top of firing it, because you either had to really kick it in the pants to get it to do anything, or once you got it kicked in the pants, it was hard to get it to come back. And part of that is because the damper was so small, it wasn't allowing enough air inside the firebox to combust the fuel efficiently. So we're going to run some math. There's some math you do on the tube sheet area and all that to determine how big the damper needs to be. And if we can't get that out of the semicircle, then we're going to build one like the 70s. It's got the damper shelf and all that in it so that it works a little bit better. Moved everything out of the front end. Took the branch pipes out, put them in storage, unbolted the thing to the steam chest so we can pick it up. Down here in the front, there was a piece of steel that came out. They've already got rid of it. And it was a piece that was bead to where they could weld it onto the tube sheet to help hold the tube sheet in place. It was part of the tube sheet, but they didn't finish the job. So Adam was in there with a hammer, he just barely tapped on it and it fell off. And there was one itty bitty bead of weld along the bottom on the seam holding that tube sheet in place. So if they hadn't welded the tubes on this end, the front tube sheet probably would have blown off out the bottom because there was really nothing there holding it. So it was really only the tubes holding the front tube sheet together. And where that washout plug is, you can see down on the bottom all the flakes of the tube sheet actually falling off from where it was flexing. If they hadn't done that, the tube sheet is actually in really good shape. So when we have the boiler contractor come in to put the patch in the bottom of the barrel, we're just going to have them patch the tube sheet, go up as far as what's bad, take it out, put new stuff in. And they're going to do that all in one process so we don't have to mess with it. And if we got everything in the firebox ready by that time, we'll just have them weld the sheets in so that we don't have to worry about the process and a certified guy that's in there welding on it. A lot of people don't realize purist railroads, unless you got 5 locomotives that you're constantly rolling on, to be a certified welder per the code, you got to constantly be welding in your craft, or the process is what you use, and you have to keep a log of all that. If you don't keep a log after 6 months, technically your certification's lapsed, so you got to go and completely get recertified because you're not showing that you've done enough to be certified and continue your education and continue to practice to be able to do everything. So in our case, if we have Seattle Boiler Works come in with one of their welders, they're R stamped, so we don't have to worry about it. There are provisions in the rules that say that we can weld on the boiler ourselves, but it's a liability and a risk thing. So on the stage surfaces, we can do all the work ourselves, and we might just do it. Depends on how that goes. But when it comes down to that strip that they got to put on the bottom of the barrel, they're going to do it because they come with testing and all that, so we don't have to worry about it. It makes the getting this thing through the federal red tape a lot easier when you got somebody that's constantly welding and working on boilers all the time, coming in to do that welding. It's not so much the metal or anything like that, it's the welding that they want to make sure is done and done correctly. So on the cab the last few days, I ran out of sanding disc, but hopefully by next week we'll have all the remaining wood and windows and all that out of the cab and all the conduit for the wiring out. We can actually hit it hard and get it ready and prep for paint, because as soon as we are able to, we are going to put the cab back on the engine. As soon as all the flexible stay bolts are taken care of in the area that the cab covers up, the cab goes back on, the running boards go back on, all that stuff goes back on. So we're very, very close to being at the end of the disassembly process, and reassembly can start to happen. And usually, if you play your cards right, you can reassemble pretty quick. So it's just a matter of getting the drivers back up underneath it, getting the cab back on it, getting the boiler back down on the frame. So the only reason why the boiler is unbolted from the frame right now is so that we can at least pick the front end up, so that the boiler contractor can get that patch put in, and then we'll just set it back down and start putting it back together. So we are almost there.
So to be clear, this is your fault, this is your fault. This is your fault, and this is your fault.
Mm-hmm. Who's the one that brought it up to our attention?
Me. Okay. We have, okay, so I talked to Colt yesterday
About?
crane trucks I just bought that I didn't have authorization to buy.
So anyway, it's in the
So-
budget.
No, it's not.
It is in the budget. It's just not marked as a crane truck.
It's marked as Christmas lights.
Tree present.
It's marked as Christmas
Uh,
lights.
While I was sitting in a meeting, I went, you know, on the auction bid, which this is the up symbol. So we bought the truck. I don't have approval to buy the truck.
So we bought it.
What's that?
So we bought it.
I didn't use my credit card this time.
Oh, that's good.
You already take a bank account.
Yeah.
Oh, is that an option?
Oh.
So we have until Tuesday to pick this thing up.
Uh-huh.
We think it's road legal, but we don't know.
Says it is.
Yeah, and then we're gonna probably need to get the claim certified.
Okay. The Colt comes down and goes,
Yeah, that looks good. But because it's a private company using the crane for a private company stuff, it doesn't happen.
But if we ever use it for anything that we want federal reimbursement on, it's gotta be certified.
Well, okay,
Like
that's
FEMA.
that's like 2 years.
I know. I have to take myself to the next board meeting and say, hey board, I just spent $6,750, which is a kill fucking deal, on a truck that,
It's gonna save us $150,000 in.
how did the last board meeting go?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would really pop it to them that early.
sounds like we need to sell the Dodge and reimburse ourselves.
We're not gonna get $6,000 for the Dodge.
No,
Oh,
we
of course, you need to get $600 for the Dodge.
Yeah, I mean, it's some
Why?
reimbursement.
Well, you know, we could do the whole OnlyFans thing.
And
So you guys are trying to pull a 42 fake out to make up for something else that's already happening. That's what we're trying to do right now.
Last year we spent $6,000 renting the man lift that I ended up in. The
Yeah.
one who was terrified of heights.
I did video about that too.
What's that?
And you even have video of that too.
oh my.
We don't need to put that anywhere.
Yeah.
You said it was going.
I hugged Chris at the top of that. because I dropped to the ground of that thing and just shook.
Well, at least you're. I had you in it, and I was making the basket go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, but when you were at the top of that, and it is sleeting rain, and there is wind,
Yeah.
and Chris went going,
I walked,
and then
I walked by
think it was
60
a
feet
nervous
below you and said, "I'm proud of you, girl."
Then you proceed to walk off.
I did. Sure did.
We had trains to run.
Train.
Yeah.
It's all about trains, man.
Train.
Technically, that truck's a train.
See? Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.